Hello, everyone. Well, those dragons were calling my name over and over and over after I showed them on the Temu haul. So, that's what I'm going to be doing. I don't know if I'm going to do them all. It's going to depend on if my eyes begin to hurt doing this. And I may do them all, but not do the colorings all on camera due to space and time. And I will speed up sections of this. But let's begin with saying what's needed to be said. What am I using? These are Let's Resin Chrome powders, and this is a light blue. This is Let's Resin Holographic powder, and this is the extra fine. So I don't know if that's coming through on camera, but really pretty here. So I'm going to tap that down, and I'm going to tap the other one down. I went ahead and bought an integrated heat mat and leveling table so that I could go ahead and I'm just not completely satisfied with it. It's not as large as my glass one. So, yeah, anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some of the holographic powder in this little incense burner, and I'm going to add some alcohol, and then I'm going to dip it down into certain places for highlights. And once that alcohol dries out, then I will take and brush that holographic in. This is the easiest way to get it into cracks and crevices. So let's go ahead, take a little bit of this powder out. I'm first going to actually start with what's on the cover, the seal, and we're just going to add some alcohol onto that. This is 99% isopropyl alcohol, and so I'm just going to take this and I'm going to swirl it around on there, and let's see if that's going to work. I'm trying to get it in there, but it's not going to be easy because of my eyes. And it doesn't look like it's picking up a whole lot, so I'm going to do some more here. Okay, it is getting down in there. I am trying to burnish it on just a little bit with the silicone tool. Now 99% dries up quick. And I don't like using alcohol in any molds because of the damage it can do to the mold. You can do this with water, but for time's sake, I am using the alcohol. As it dries quicker than water. And this is the water dragon. And all I'm doing is the highlights in this. So that's why I'm not needing much. I'm getting it in there a little bit, so I'm going to have to wipe that out. Although I don't know that is part of the flipper that's going to be done. All right, I think I've used up what I can off of this. So I'll go ahead, take a little bit of this out. You don't get much in these. These are 1 gram. And for the prices, for everything, it's pretty bad. Dump off a little bit of that. Whoops. There we go. Set that aside. Let's get a little alcohol into that. And 1 more drop. Get this mixed up into it. Maybe even pull it off the side there where I goofed. If I could find my small squeeze bottles, I would have put some of this into the squeeze bottle. And it'd been a little bit easier to handle. Sorry, I have to turn it up into the light just a little bit in order to see where that is. Okay, then we're going to go the 2 side horns up here. All right, the only thing left now is to burnish it in. So I'm going to set this aside. Never get rid of this because it can be set aside. The powder will still be there. Oops. So let's start with this area here. Oops. Definitely going to have some cleanup. I'm going to add just a little bit to this brush. I'll get it down in there and then I'll clean it all off the top area. Sadly, I won't be able to add the resin until after all this is done because my room is at 69 degrees right now. It's kind of cool. Sorry if I don't talk all the way through this because I am concentrating very hard. And I know some people would prefer me to shut up anyway, which I don't blame them, because I'm just going to do the flippers in this powder. Not very easy to do, though. Okay, let's go ahead and switch over to just the powder. So this being the extra fine powder, you don't use a lot. You just don't. All right, I'm going to pause you while I finish doing this, and I'll bring you back with the other part. Okay, it's ready for its second color. So, as usual, take it off that piece first. Now, I didn't go ahead and clean everything because, unfortunately, I really am having difficulties seeing, so I probably would wipe off the important stuff. So you see what I'm actually doing here. I'm going to go ahead, do the rest on speed dial. So I'll be back, and, well, you'll see. Okay, this guy's done. Yes, these two will have to wait. So I'm going to go ahead, pause while I wait for my room to warm up a little bit. It's still at 69. I am going to turn my mat on, or my heating mat, leveling table thing. I am going to turn it on, and I'm going to warm it up. Okay, the red flashing, or the blue flashing lights just hurt. So that's 30, an hour. So we're going to go with that, an hour. And these are going to warm up right here. If it's not warm enough, now I'm not sure, that should do it. Okay, back soon. All right, we're back. I've got my resin poured. It's a little on the cold side still. It's not actually mixed yet. We're going to do that together. I have decided that there was something I've been wanting to try for a while, and I don't know if it's going to work with these, with the holographic powder or the chrome, but we're going to try it. This is from Temu. It is sky blue, and it is a glow powder. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to put glow powder in this and see what happens. If anything, hopefully I'll get some glow out of it. I will also be adding a drop of the clear glue here so that I can suspend that powder, because the powder has a tendency to sink into everything, and I would like it to all glow if possible. Okay, so we pour B in first. We always start with B. We want to start with B because B is thinner and easier to scrape away from the sides. So we're just going to pour this in. Let it drain for a half a second. grab up a stick. Now this has still got a little bit of the chrome, so I'm not sure if it's going to leave dark spots or not, but we'll see. Okay, now we just go ahead and scrape this out of here. I do have spatulas for this, but as always, if I could find them, that would be perfect. But when you move your craft room around a gazillion times in just a short period of time, you tend to lose track of things. So I'm still putting the craft room back together after the last round of changeover. I have discovered that that LED light on here is quite bright and is very annoying. So I am looking for a way to diffuse that light. And I could turn it off while I'm doing this, but this keeps the resin a little warmer for me. So that's what I'm doing, is trying to do that. All right. So what I do now is, because this makes it for easier cleanup, there's 99% alcohol in here. I go over to my trash can and I spritz these in there, so it soaks that. And I put about a good fair amount in there. That way I can do cleanup after I'm done pouring. Okay, so I want to go ahead and get the glow powder in before I put the A in. I do love this one. I'm having trouble finding it again. And yeah, so I don't know. Let's put the glue in first, just 1 or 2 drops. I have 50 ml of each A and B, so 100 ml total. So that's a little over 3 ounces. So I'm putting 2 in. I would really like it thoroughly suspended. So let's get that mixed in real fast. I like how the big blobby jelly it becomes. Okay, let's dump this in. I'm hoping my guesstimate is good on how much to put into this mold. Okay, let's get that stirred in really well, get the A in, and get this thing poured. Now, I was watching Marva's video from Marvelous Artsy, and she was doing one with glow powder, and that's what reminded me I wanted to do this. So, thank you, Marva. Let's get this poured in. I'm not going to put it in a debubbler because I am using Tea Expert. The crystal clear, I believe. I don't know, the bottles are hiding from me right now. Well, the labels on them. Scrape off and get the rest. And for those of you that don't really know, epoxy is a glue. And that's why the glue thickens it. There are slightly different types of glue. Okay, let's get this done. I forgot to trim the sharp pieces off of my stick when I broke it. Now I can always tell when I've got something thoroughly mixed, okay? So, just to let you know, that's why I put the glue and stuff in first. I know when my epoxy is mixed. Hand's a little sore, but this is too small to put in the mixer, so always scrape sides and bottom. Work out your hand cramps as you can. Okay, and then I just start turning it a little bit to help get that off the sides easier. Now, this doesn't cure properly. Yeah. Put your A and B together, mix it up first, then put your glue in and your other stuff. Oh my gosh. My hand is aching so bad. Should have brought out my really small mixer, the hand one. That looks like it's incorporating very nicely. Okay, let's see if I have any streaks. Not really, so this is where I stir a little bit longer to make absolutely sure. I keep sticking my fingers down in the cup. Too short a stick. All right, hopefully this will keep that suspended and we'll get good glow and all of that. But yes, I've always wanted to try this. See if it works. I was hoping to find somebody online that's already done it, but didn't, because I was kind of hoping to get some tips and tricks. Okay, slow that down a little bit. Let's get the little silicone tool, get down into those crevices so we don't have any bubbles sitting in there. Okay, let's pour some more. Okay, it's filling into the flippers. I'm trying very hard not to scrape, so I can try very hard not to dislodge the powders. I just want to make sure I don't get any bubbles if possible. Okay, and it looks like I made way too much. I'm going to let it go ahead and dome. And, I could do that one. Or, I got an idea. Let me see. So many molds to go through. You know what? Let's see horse. So I'm going to pull this out of the way. We're going to try to move this down a little bit. Get this on there. Now I'm letting this settle just a little bit, and I do see some areas that look bubblish. Bubblicious, huh? So I'm going to pull that away from there. Okay, let's get to a little bit more to make sure it's domed. Okay, I think we're there, and we are. All right, so we're going to go ahead and pour some of this into the seahorse. Try to get in this little tiny tail area. Let it run down. Okay. Try to get it coaxed up into that fin a little bit. Okay, I think that'll do that. Now I'll just go ahead and run this in here real fast. Going to get it up on the sides as well. It'll slide down, but I'm hoping to get that nice high ridge for catching in for when I do the backing. Okay, that looks like what I need done, so I think we're done here. The only thing we're going to do is come back in a few minutes and torch any bubbles I'm looking at. Just means I have to find my lighter. I know it's around here somewhere. But you know what? This is tall enough in there, high enough, that I think I can use my short lighter for it. I don't like using lighters this short when I've got gloves on. Kind of dangerous that way, but... Alright, I'm going to put you on pause, and I'll be back when this is cured, since it's the main item, and I'll put a backing on while it's paused, when this is cured. Alright, see you soon. Okay, we're back. Now the other one's cured. It is ready for unmolding. But I decided I'm going to try something with this one that I kind of in the reverse of the other one. Whereas I painted the mold first with powders and then added the glow. We're going to go ahead, and we've already added the glow to this. And I'm going to take these chameleon fine flakes, and we're going to try putting them and brushing them on here. And it doesn't look like it's going to do very well that way at all, because I got back here and it wasn't sticky enough. So, how do we solve that problem? Well, there is one way. And I'm going to have to put you on pause while I do that, and I'll explain to you. You take spray varnish, and you very lightly spray and then allow this to dry. So I'll be back as soon as that's done. Alright, there's a very light coating on this. It's not tacky, but it should grab this, and we'll see. And it's not grabbing too easy, but it is grabbing. And I don't want a whole lot in this. I just want enough for the experiment. Will we see this through the glow-in-the-dark? Get it up into a schnoz a little bit. And I may have to change over to a powder. An actual powder. But we'll see. Some of them flakes up in there. Try not to dislodge the resin itself from the mold. Now when I pour the resin in, it could dislodge these flakes easily. I'm going to set some down in here. Looks like we need some more at the back of his head. Okay. Let's see. Do I got enough coverage? Looks like I might. I have decided I do not like these Let's Resin holographic glitter flakes things. It's not a powder. Even though it states powder, it's not a powder. These are more like glitter. Just plain old everyday glitter flakes. So this is a product I won't be purchasing again, because I can pretty much get what I need from Temu. By the way, I did purchase my Let's Resin products from Temu. I just watched an insect crawl off my napkin. As long as it wasn't a spider, I'm good. Alright, so I'm going to set that down. And now we're going to, this has already got the glow in it, so I'm going to mix a little bit of glue to thicken it. And you can hear it still at the bottom, so I'm going to stir it up a little bit first. And should be 1 drop. Well, 1 drop, I said. Not a humonger. I said 1 drop. Drop, 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 drop. Oh, for pity's sake, come on. Drop. Let's get, there we go. It's got just the right amount of slime. So we're going to go ahead, scrape the stick. And let's pour this in, and I'm going to hope that I made enough. So we're going to start at the head area first. Get a schnoz. Head down towards his tail. Make sure we get it in the tail. Get that back fin. Now, I don't know if I've got this domed or not. I can't see it for crud. So, we're just going to scrape up what's left out of here. Make sure that's up in that bin. Looks like it is now. And no, I'm not wearing my gloves because there wasn't a whole lot of resin that had to be worked with here. And I'm not touching it. It's not touching me. Now I'm going to have my second pair of eyes get level with this and make sure I'm not running over. I should be well domed, but not to the point of breach. Okay, it looks like we are doing really well here. So you'll see me in about, I don't know, 3 or 4 seconds for that unmold timing. And we'll take a look at both products and see what happens. All right, back soon. Okay, what I'm doing right now is charging both items. They are ready. This one's still slightly soft because the heat table just clicked off about 15 minutes ago, maybe 20. It's still a little warm. And if you're hearing a mew, that's Miss Sappy. She wants in. And she doesn't get to get in while I'm doing these things. So I'm going to pause you while I get this charged. Okay, now we can unmold them. And we're going to go with the seahorse first. And why don't we just go ahead, see if I can do this in the dark. This is the glow from both of them in the mold. So let's get the seahorse unmolded here. We'll check out the chameleon flakes in the seahorse after we see the pretty glow. And I don't think we're going to get much glow from the other one, the dragon. Okay, we are out of the mold. And there's the seahorse. And now comes the dragon. It's a little tougher. Oh, there is kind of a glow from it on the front side. That's pretty cool. All right, I'm going to pause you, and I'm going to go ahead and charge him on this side as well. Okay, let's take a closer look at the seahorse. And let's get a closer look of the dragon. All right, let's get a light on. Watch your eyes. I'm sure that's going to flip out on. There we go. Let me get the other light on. Okay, let's inspect Mr. Seahorse. Now you can see some of the flakes in the fin and the tail, the nose, but most of it did disappear behind the body. And I am shocked, but as much as I've poked around in there, I did get some bubbles, and so I'm missing some of the spikes on the side of the seahorse. But otherwise, it's done pretty darn good. Okay, now for the focus, right? The dragon. And we're going to check him over for bubbles. Okay, that's not a, yeah, it's a small itty bitty bubble. Okay, which can be sanded off. He feels pretty good. But the experiment of whether you can use chrome powders and the glitter powder, the holographic, with the glow in the dark, it became a success. You can do it, and you can get the glow. It's not as bright as I would have hoped, but I'll take anything at this point. He does need a little bit of trimming up around the face here, because he did shrink a little bit, and we got a little bit overpour right there on the tail, or not tail, the side fin. So I will be taking this off. Now let's look at the dragon's eyes. Shall I go ahead and color those eyes in? What color? Well, since most of this is Let's Resin product, we could go ahead and check out the Let's Resin acrylic paint markers. So the water dragon did pretty well. Okay. Now, are these double-ended tips? I don't know. So let's pick out a pretty color. What do we got here? I could go with the darker blue, but I think that would just disappear. Go with a red, maybe? Okay, it is double-ended. So, at least I think it is. Yep, there's the broad tip. And there's the fine point. So let's get it primed. Whoops, oh boy. Okay, so it's not a true red, it's a pinkish. So we're just going to drop some of that down in the eye. And drop some down in this eye. You got to get a position where I can actually see the eye. I'm sure it's there. Right there. I think I see it. We'll see if I can get to it, though. Oops, I wiped off some of the eye on the other side. Okay, let's go ahead and redo this eye. Okay, we just have to wait for those to dry. I think that's the only... Oh, wow, I got that in the mouth. Ha! Well, that's hilarious. Good thing you can wipe that out of there. Let's get a wet wipe here and take that side out of there. Okay, now we'll work a little harder on finding the eye. I think it's right here. Yeah, okay. So we got the eye. Z. So let's put this away. And then as far as the seahorse goes, let's get this wiped up or I will put my hand right into it. Doesn't clean up that easy. I'm still seeing bits of it. Colorations. Okay. Now for the dragon. What color eyes or eye should we have? Let's go with something exciting. Let's go with a green eye. Okay. Okay, we got a green eye. We'll put this away now. And that concludes it, everybody. Experiment worked. So you can use glow-in-the-dark powders with certain molds. I would suggest you get a stronger glow-in-the-dark or you use more glow-in-the-dark. Oh, for goodness sake, look at that. Okay, anyway, thank you all for joining me. I appreciate it much. And we'll have more dragons to come because I've got 2 more in that pack to do. And I might do the colorations off camera and bring you back when it's all colored in. Because, and I'll explain, of course, which colors I've used from what brand and etc. if there's a brand. But we might go ahead and stick with Let's Resin products for right now because I want the dragons to kind of look as similar as possible, but, you know, different. Anyway, yes, thank you for watching. Appreciate it very much. You know I love all of you. I mean, if it weren't for you, I wouldn't still be doing this anymore. But anyway, yeah, so now I'm going to get the other 2 dragons done. After that, I am concentrating on Octoberween on the other channel. So get ready for those because today it is now 12:31, the morning of September 5th. So it's getting close. I will be working my rear end off to get all those videos done for y'all. And for myself because, you know, I do need more decorations. If you've not been here before, hey, thanks for joining. At least for this video. If you've been here before, haven't subscribed. And if you're new to the channel, of course, please consider subscribing. Leave a comment below. I appreciate all comments. I do answer all comments. And if you've got questions, of course, I'll try my best to answer them. And if not, I'll point you in the direction somebody can. Okay. Of course, share if you care, and peace out.